Assalamu alaikum and welcome. Today we discuss one of the most critical security challenges facing Pakistan, the growing threat of terrorism emanating from across the western border and Pakistan's determined efforts to safeguard its sovereignty, territorial integrity and national security. For decades, instability in Afghanistan has had direct consequences for Pakistan's internal security. Following the Soviet withdrawal from Afghanistan in 1989 and particularly after the events of 2001, the region witnessed the emergence and expansion of numerous militant organizations. Many of these groups operated in remote border regions where state control remained limited. Pakistan has consistently argued that terrorist organizations have exploited instability inside Afghanistan to establish bases, training facilities, recruitment networks, and logistical support systems. Successive Pakistani governments, both civilian and military, have repeatedly maintained that anti-Pakistan militant groups have used Afghan territory to organize attacks inside Pakistan. Pakistan's concerns intensified after the emergence of Tehreek-e-Taliban Pakistan, commonly known as TTP, in 2007. Following major Pakistani military operations such as Rast, Zarb, and Radd Fasaad, many TTP fighters reportedly crossed into Afghanistan. Pakistani officials have stated on numerous occasions that these militants regrouped in border provinces and continued launching attacks against Pakistan. Islamabad has frequently shared intelligence with Kabul and international partners regarding alleged militant sanctuaries in provinces such as Kunar, Nangarhar, Paktika, and Paktia. Several major terrorist incidents in Pakistan have also been linked by Pakistani authorities to planners or facilitators allegedly operating from across the border. Pakistan has repeatedly accused TTP leadership of enjoying freedom of movement inside Afghanistan. Islamabad argues that this operational space has enabled militants to target Pakistani civilians, security personnel, educational institutions, mosques, and public infrastructure. One of the most devastating periods for Pakistan came during the height of terrorism between 2007 and 2014. During this period, Pakistan suffered thousands of terrorist attacks. Markets, schools, places of worship, and security installations were repeatedly targeted. The tragic attack on the Army Public School in Peshawar in December 2014 marked a turning point in Pakistan's counterterrorism strategy. Pakistani officials later stated that elements linked to the attack had operated from Afghan territory. In response, Pakistan launched large-scale counterterrorism operations and significantly strengthened border management. Pakistan also accelerated the fencing of the Pakistan-Afghanistan border, established new border forts, introduced biometric systems at crossing points, and increased intelligence-based operations. Despite these measures, Pakistan maintains that cross-border terrorism remains a persistent challenge. Pakistan has once again demonstrated that it will not allow terrorist organizations to destabilize the country. In a major counterterrorism operation, Pakistan's security forces carried out coordinated ground operations and precision strikes along the Pakistan-Afghanistan border, targeting militant hideouts allegedly being used to plan and launch attacks against Pakistan. According to Pakistani authorities, these operations were conducted after a series of deadly terrorist attacks across the country, including the recent assault on the Pakistan Rangers headquarters in Karachi. The message from Islamabad is clear. Pakistan will continue taking all necessary measures to defend its people and eliminate terrorist threats wherever they originate. For more than 2 decades, Pakistan has remained on the front line of the global fight against terrorism. From Operation Zarb to Operation Radd Fasaad, Pakistan's armed forces have conducted extensive campaigns against extremist groups. Thousands of Pakistani soldiers, police officers, and civilians have sacrificed their lives in this struggle. Despite these immense sacrifices, terrorism has once again emerged as a serious challenge in recent years. Pakistani officials maintain that many of these attacks are being orchestrated by the Tehreek-e-Taliban Pakistan, commonly known as TTP, and affiliated organizations operating from sanctuaries across the border inside Afghanistan. Islamabad has repeatedly expressed concerns that militants are exploiting ungoverned spaces and safe havens near the borders to launch attacks against Pakistani security forces and civilians. Pakistan argues that while it has carried out extensive counterterrorism operations on its own soil, militant groups have found opportunities to regroup and reorganize in areas beyond Pakistan's jurisdiction. This concern has become even more significant since the return of the Afghan Taliban regime in Kabul in 2021. Pakistan has consistently urged the Afghan authorities to ensure that Afghan territory is not used by any group to threaten neighboring countries. According to Pakistani officials, this principle is not merely a bilateral expectation, but an internationally recognized obligation under diplomatic norms and international commitments. Recent developments have further intensified these concerns. The attack on the Rangers headquarters in Karachi shocked the nation, Armed militants equipped with weapons and explosives targeted a key security installation, resulting in the martyrdom of Pakistani soldiers. Security forces responded swiftly. The attackers were neutralized while one suspect was captured alive. Pakistani authorities later stated that the arrested militant was an Afghan national, further strengthening Islamabad's concerns regarding cross-border terrorist networks. Investigations reportedly linked the attack to Jamaat-ul-Ahrar, a faction associated with the TTP. For Pakistan, such incidents reinforce the belief that militant infrastructure continues to exist beyond its borders. This is precisely why Pakistan launched fresh operations targeting what officials described as militant hideouts in Paktia, Paktika and Kunar provinces. According to Information Minister Ataullah Tarar, precision strikes destroyed multiple terrorist targets. Pakistani authorities insist that these operations specifically targeted terrorist infrastructure and were conducted in response to repeated attacks originating from across the border. Pakistan maintains that these actions are defensive in nature and are aimed solely at protecting its citizens. The border security environment along the Pakistan-Afghanistan border has remained tense for months. Cross-border exchanges, military incidents, and allegations from both sides have contributed to a deteriorating relationship between Islamabad and Kabul. Despite several rounds of diplomatic engagement and internationally mediated discussions, a sustainable mechanism to address security concerns has yet to emerge. China has also played a diplomatic role by encouraging dialogue and restraint between the two neighboring countries. However, Pakistan continues to emphasize that meaningful progress depends upon concrete action against militant groups. Pakistani policymakers argue that lasting peace in the region cannot be achieved unless all terrorist organizations are denied safe havens, financing, recruitment opportunities, and operational freedom. Pakistan's security doctrine increasingly emphasizes a comprehensive approach. This includes military operations, intelligence-based actions, border management, fencing projects, technological surveillance, and enhanced regional diplomacy. One of Pakistan's most significant achievements has been the fencing of large portions of the Pakistan-Afghanistan border. The border fencing initiative aims to regulate movement, prevent illegal crossings, disrupt smuggling networks, and deny terrorists the ability to move freely. Security officials believe this initiative has significantly improved border management, although challenges remain due to difficult terrain and continued militant activity. Pakistan has repeatedly called for enhanced intelligence cooperation and effective border coordination mechanisms with Afghan authorities. Islamabad argues that cooperation rather than confrontation offers the best path toward regional peace. At the same time, Pakistani officials stress that national security remains non-negotiable. Whenever terrorist organizations attempt to target Pakistani civilians or security personnel, Pakistan reserves the right to respond decisively. The international community also recognizes that terrorism remains a transnational threat requiring collective action. Instability in one country can easily spill across borders and threaten the entire region. Therefore, experts argue that all stakeholders must work together to eliminate extremist networks and prevent militant groups from exploiting regional instability. Pakistan's position remains consistent. The country seeks peaceful, stable, and cooperative relations with Afghanistan. Pakistan desires economic connectivity, regional integration, and mutually beneficial relations. However, Pakistan also insists that no country's territory should be allowed to serve as a launching pad for terrorist attacks against another state. As Pakistan continues its fight against terrorism, the sacrifices of its armed forces, law enforcement agencies, and citizens remain central to the nation's resilience. The struggle against terrorism is not merely a military challenge, it is a battle for peace, stability, development, and the future of the entire region. Pakistan's security institutions have repeatedly stated that the fight will continue until all terrorist threats are neutralized. The objective is clear: a peaceful Pakistan, a secure region, and a future free from the scourge of terrorism. Thank you for watching. See you in the next episode.